Welcome to RiseUpTV.com. My name is Jim Hullinger, and I'll be your host today. And we're going to be talking about problems that people have. In 1885, New York City had a big problem. If you asked anybody back then what they would do with $100,000, they would tell you, put together the Statue of Liberty. She was laying in crates in a warehouse, and they didn't have enough money to put it together to make the pedestal. They needed $100,000, and they did not know where it was going to come from. But Joseph Pulitzer, owner of the New York World Press, put an ad in the paper to raise $100,000. It came in from 160,000 donors. People gave pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. If you understand what you're looking at here, that's less than $1 a piece. But that's because there wasn't a lot of money back then. And kind of sounds a little bit like today, doesn't it? They raised the money because they had hope and a desire and a goal. 97 years later, President Reagan wanted to initiate a private foundation, so he asked Lee Iacocca if he would help him raise $700 million to refurbish the Statue of Liberty for the centennial. The money came in, and it's still coming. Another example of crowdfunding was President Obama used that to raise $500 million for his 2008 campaign to become president. In 2012, he passed a law saying that money could be raised up for businesses through crowdfunding, that it was a solution to businesses getting money because the banks were tight, and if it worked for him, it worked for us. I've got a very important question for you. What would you do with $100,000? Could you use $100,000? I'm going to ask you to write that down in just a minute, all right? But first, I want to share with you a way to get the $100,000. And it's not the way you think. It's by helping other people that need to raise money for anything. If you know two people that need money, maybe somebody wants to start a business or expand a business they have. They've got school debt they'd like to pay off. Maybe they've got medical bills or they need dental work done and they just don't have the money. We're going to show them how they can get that by helping other people. The one I hear the most is down here in the bottom corner, getting out of debt. People have been borrowing money, living on their credit cards because they just don't have enough money for the needs that are in front of them today. There are people who need to save money for a down payment for a home. Maybe you'd like to get involved in the theater, drama, or arts, filmmaking, and you need money to do that. Your school project, your community project, your sports team needs money. We're going to show you how you can fund those and how you can give back to the community. Maybe you've got a charity organization or a church or a mission project that you'd like to fund. We're going to show you how, by sharing this with other people, you can have what you want. You see, we're looking for 10,000 people that would like to receive $100,000 this year. If that's you, you want to pay close attention to what we're going to be talking about next. What would you do with $100,000? Well, first of all, you have to receive it. There's a lot of ways that you can raise funds today, but you need to know what the different methods are. There's fundraising, there's crowdfunding, there's community funding, and there's cooperative pool sharing. And you need to know what the differences are. You also need to know that most people that start a project, they don't succeed. We're going to share with you the whys and what the differences are in all these different projects. This is probably the most famous guy there is when it comes to raising funds. His name is James Robertson. He walked to work every day for 22 miles, took the bus, and he did that for 13 years. Down here, Evan heard his story, and he went to him and he said, James, he said, I'd like to help you raise money to get a car. And he put together a crowdfunding project. He got some friends together, found out how to do it, and he sought to raise $25,000. Took photos, got a hold of the press, and raised $349,000 in 1 month from 13,000 different people making donations. So people's dreams are being reached, and it can be done, and crowdfunding is a great way to do that. But there's some things that you need to know when it comes to raising funds through crowdfunding. Number one, if you use a GoFundMe project, there is no charge to create your project. A great way to get started with no money. But there is a charge per donation, a 5% fee, 2.9% processing, and 30 cents per transaction. So the cost here would have been $39,000 or was $39,000 because of the fees. There is a better way that I want to share with you and how that works. Last year, paying off student loans grew by 4,017%. The students were in school. It was the end of the year, and they had started to hear about crowdfunding, and it was spreading by word of mouth, the most powerful advertising way that you can do this. And Alexa said to her friends, "How do you do that? What do I need to do?" And they said, "We'll help you do it." They helped her put together her project, and she was amazed and overwhelmed when she received over $5,000 in the first 27 hours. That's all she needed to pay off her student loan. But she's going to have other needs. And the reason for that is when she graduates, she's going to need to relocate. She's probably going to have to get furniture, housing, travel, survive until she finds a job. And so during the year, you can change and update your project with us as you need for no additional cost. Another type of crowdfunding project that I want to talk to you about is reward-based. This here's an example of a manufacturer who wants to make these watches and sell them, and he needs to raise $250,000 to be able to do that. But if he doesn't reach that goal, then he won't receive any of the money that was raised. When it comes to charges, there can be up to 10% of donations received. Some companies charge 15%, but we're going to use 10% for simple math. And let's take a look here at what we're going to do. The goal is to raise $250,000. They raised $1.3 million, way to go, from 4,390 people, and they still have 10 more days to go. But let's just look at those numbers right now as they stand. That means $1.3 million times 10%, $139,000 that will be the fees that will be charged for this. That's great. They did receive that much money, but how would you like to save money? The reason I say that is because with our company, your setup fee is $250, and it's good for 1 year, and all donations that come into you have no fees. A lady called me and she wanted to fund a vacation. She wanted to take her husband and 3 kids to Disney World. They were going to be gone about a week and a half, and she wanted to know if she could crowdfund that. And I said, yeah. I said, so let me see if I got this right, though. You're going to ask your family and friends to donate money so you can go on vacation. Is that right? And she goes, yeah. And I said, so you feel funny about it, right? She says, yeah, I do. And I said, well, there's a better way. Instead of asking them to donate money for you to go on vacation, why don't you do it a different way? Why don't you turn around and use cooperative funding and have them raise the funds that they need for their project? She said, what do you mean? I said, do you think your friends have any goals that they'd like to achieve? Maybe they've got some medical bills that they need to pay off. Maybe they want to pay off their mortgage. Maybe they'd like to start a business. What you do is you find out what they need and help them reach their goals. And so that together you guys can all raise the funds. Last year I went to a home show, and I was talking to people at the home show, and I said, look, how many people here want to improve their home? All you have to do is help each other do that, and you can have these projects and go into our cooperative sharing, and that will help raise the money for everybody. So if you share this information with other people that have a need or a dream, they become a part of your profit pool sharing. How does it work? Let's explore how this works and how you can achieve your goals and your dreams. When it comes to cooperative sharing, there are 2 things that are important: the ways that we receive our money. The first one is direct donations. We already talked about this. All donations go to you. Somebody comes up to you and they say, hey, here's $300 to help you get your project started. You thank them. You put the money in your bank and use it for that project. The next thing, if somebody sends you a card and there's a check in the card, take the check, put it in the bank, it's yours. When you receive any money through the donation website, that all goes to you, right into your account. So there are no fees for that. The second thing that we do is our pool sharing. Pool sharing is a little bit different, needs to be explained, but basically what we're doing is we're working together to help each other with their projects so that we can all fund ourselves and our projects. You enroll in the Rizeup platform for $250. How do you do that? First of all, you look for 2 people. That's what you're looking for, just 2 people that have a need, have a desire, have something they'd like to accomplish. Let's use this one here. This is Rick. He's getting married, and you go to Rick and you say, hey, Rick, how would you like to take your wife overseas for your honeymoon? He said, oh, that'd be great, but we can't afford that. If I could show you how to do it with $250, would you be interested? He goes, yeah, sure. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to start a crowdfunding project, and you're going to raise money and help other people raise money for what they're looking for. So when you do that and they get a platform for $250, you're going to receive $120 commission on that sale. The second thing they're going to do is they're going to take another $120 of that, and they're going to put that into your pool sharing. They're going to put that to work so it'll grow. That means that the company made $10, and that's the setup fee for getting this project going. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to look for somebody else. You know, somebody that's graduating, you talk to them, say, hey, how would you like to pay off your student bill? And they go, yeah, okay, I'm in. So they go in, they join. You're going to receive $120 for that and $120 in your pool sharing. Now, when you've got two people who've come into this and started a project, something exciting happens. You have just qualified for pool sharing. Those two people count as one pool share, and you qualify for 10 different pools of sharing. The power of duplication. It's just like a family getting married, okay? They get married, and I remember my father-in-law, and we went up for their 50th wedding anniversary, and the family was so big. They had 5 kids, and there were so many kids and grandkids and great-great-grandkids, and it was a great time. But the photographer couldn't take the picture because there were so many people there. He tried 3 different times before he was finally able to do it, because the family had grown. And I remember Dad looked around and he said, you know, he looked at his wife and he looked at all those people and all the kids there and the greats and everything, and he said, you and I did this, just the two of us. And this is the power of duplication. You've heard the story about a penny being doubled every day and how that turns into a lot of success. Well, that's what we're doing. We're looking for people that have projects, that have needs, that would like to be funded. And you're looking for 2 people to get 2 people, that's 4. You're looking for those 4 people to get 2, and that's 8. And that's the power of duplication. And this is what's going to help you reach your goals and your dreams by helping other people get what they're looking for. I'm going to have a disclaimer here, and the reason for that is because I'm going to cover some examples of how the money works. And in a perfect world, this is how it would work, but we know that the world's not perfect. Some people are going to do better, some people are not, and it's unlikely that it's going to work exactly the way that I'm showing you, but this is how it works. The first thing that I want to know from anybody is, what would you do with $100,000? I want to know their why. I want to know what it is that they want to accomplish, because if they've got a goal of $1 million, that's going to be important to me to know how to approach that with them. If they say I need $3,000 to publish a book, that's important. But once I know their why, I'll know how to help them, and I'll know what they are going to want to do. So we're going to talk about the compensation plan and how we get paid. I remember my first paycheck when I went to work, and I didn't know how much I was going to get paid till the first day, and they sat down and they told me all that stuff, and I sat down and I figured that out at lunch hour, and I thought, okay, I'm getting this much an hour, 40 hours, I'll have this much money on payday. When payday come, man, was I surprised. The check wasn't even close. And you know why? Because of the taxes, the state tax, the county tax, the city tax, and FICA, uniform rental. All of those things affected my check. And I don't want anybody here disappointed. I'm going to tell you exactly how we're compensated, exactly what we need to do to make this money, and how it works. The first thing you need to know is you need to share this with 2 people. And I keep saying that because it's important that you understand it. You want to share this with 2 people. If you don't know 2 people, then you might want to think if this is something you really want to do. But I don't believe you, because I know everybody knows 2 people. If you died, I know there'd be more than that come to your funeral. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to share this with 2 people. When you do that, you're going to receive $240 in your wallet and $240 that are going to go into pool sharing. The company's taking that money and they're saying, we're going to give this back to you, but we're going to put it into pool sharing because we want it to grow so you can get more later. Not that much later. It could be a week even. But let's take a look at it. The second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to share this with 2 other people that do exactly the same thing. Now, here's where it already doesn't start to work, because there are some people who are going to invite more. My first week, I invited 3 people. My first fella invited 6 his first week. And then I have 2 people, and they haven't invited anybody yet. Some people need to know everything before they do anything. So that's what your goal is, to help those 2 people achieve their goals. Then you're qualified for pool sharing. When you come to pool sharing on floor 3, there's $960 that are going to be in that pool. You're going to receive $240 checks each time somebody follows you into that qualifying group. So that means you're going to get $240 for the first, the second, the third, and the fourth person, up to $960. On the fourth floor, there's 12 people in that pool. There's $5,760 there. You're going to receive $480 checks up to 12 times as people come and they join into that area. And this is the part that's pretty exciting about this, because as we look at the next floor, there's 28 people in this pool. There's $26,000 there, and each check is going to be for $960, and it's as earned. The reason that I like that is because if I had to wait for that money to build up in the pool first, it'd take too long. But when I get it as earned, I get that first check, $960. I'm going, yeah, okay. And they didn't take any taxes out of it. On the sixth floor, there are 60 people there. There's $115,000 on that floor. Each check is going to be $1,920. Now, we started out looking for $100,000. We've just hit it, and so I want to stop right here. And the reason for that is because it's realistic. It can be done. You can do it, and we can all achieve these things together. If you have bigger goals, bigger dreams, I'm going to share this next floors with you, but I'm not going to do the math because I just want you to realize it's here. Checks of $7,680, $3,840 checks. You can receive all these checks from these floors at different times, because if you've got somebody who goes crazy and they build a great team fast, you're going to get those checks quicker. And then when the other people get started, you're going to get those checks as they advance through the rank. So I thank you very much for taking a look at this, and that's how it works. So help the 2 people that you brought in, and you will succeed. Rizeup makes its money in 2 different ways. First of all, there's no fees for all donations received through your activities and the donate button. Second, $10 of the $250 goes to the company. Okay? Then whenever money that you make from pool sharing, they do deduct 20% up to $50 for a fee. That means if you have a check anywhere from $250 to $10,000 or more, the fee will be just $50. So, folks, the company wants us to make money. They want us to achieve our goals, and they make their money the same way we do, except for operating costs. Do you know anyone, maybe yourself or a friend, who needs to raise money for any type of dream project? We can help. Get back with the person that invited you, that shared this with you, and say, hey, how do I get started? Where can I go from here? It's your turn to become a part of our team. We welcome you. Join, get started, put up your project page, tell us about it, and we will begin to promote and advertise your project, just like you'll see the ones down below here. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to ask our guests to introduce themselves and to tell us about their projects.